Moana dies in Moana 2. Yes, you heard that right. In just 24 seconds, Disney killed off one of their most beloved heroines. But don't worry, it's not the end of her story. In fact, it's just the beginning of something much bigger. But what if I told you Disney already foreshadowed that this moment was going to happen twice? Did you miss those? Well, hang on tight, because today we'll not only explore the foreshadowing, but also the execution and the aftermath of Moana's sacrifice. And the beginning of all the foreshadowing, that wasn't even in Moana 2, it was in the first movie. Remember that shell Moana placed on the chief's mountain? It's a pivotal symbol that carries deep significance throughout her journey. Moana's choice of a shell over a stone might have seemed unconventional at first, but it serves as a powerful foreshadowing device, hinting at her profound connection to the ocean and her extraordinary destiny. Think about the opening scene of the first film. Baby Moana is drawn to the shore by a glistening shell, sparkling in the sunlight. As she approaches, the ocean parts, revealing more shells and beckoning her further. This moment isn't just adorable, it's the genesis of a divine connection. The ocean uses shells as a visual language, guiding Moana towards her fate. But the shell's significance doesn't end with the first film. In Moana 2, that same shell reappears in the opening scene, serving as a visual reminder of Moana's growth and the challenges she's overcome. But at the movie's climax, it is finally revealed that shells are more than just symbolism. When Moana blows on the conch shell after saving Motufitu, it restores all the original connections the island had, possibly becoming her second magical item. Now, that isn't the only subtle foreshadowing leading up to the moment that changed everything. There's even more in the journey of the second film. 3 years have passed since Moana's first adventure, and our favorite wayfinder has grown into a role that carries the weight of her entire tribe. As the newly appointed Tautai leader, Moana faces challenges that make her previous quest seem like a walk on the beach. But how has this new responsibility shaped her character and set the stage for the ultimate sacrifice we see later? Well, the stakes are higher than ever for Moana as she's fighting to prevent the extinction of her entire people. The storm god Nalo has placed a curse that threatens everything Moana holds dear, and it's up to her to break it. This isn't just about adventure anymore, it's about survival. The journey from curious explorer to responsible leader is evident in every frame of the sequel. She's tasked with reconnecting her people to other oceanic tribes, a role that extends far beyond the borders of Motunui. One of the most interesting aspects of Moana's growth is how the film showcases her evolving understanding of leadership. When she recruits a diverse crew from Motunui for her mission, we see a leader who understands the importance of unity and diverse perspectives. This isn't just about Moana's personal journey anymore. It's about her ability to inspire and guide others. The visual representation of Moana's growth is subtle but powerful. There's an increased confidence and athleticism in the way she carries herself, a visual reminder of how far she's come since we first met her. As we watch Moana navigate challenges on her quest, we retrospectively can't help but wonder, how does all of this lead to her ultimate decision? The answer lies in the Ocean Clam, where Moana meets Matangi. She's learning that being a wayfinder isn't about personal glory, it's about doing what's best for your people, even when it comes at a great personal cost. She learns that there is always another way. Matangi also introduces a game-changing moment that redefines our understanding of Moana. Enter the Portal of the Gods, a shimmering gateway that seems to pulse with ancient power. This mystical doorway proves impenetrable even to Maui, a demigod known for his incredible feats. Yet when Moana approaches, something extraordinary happens. The portal responds to her touch. Its energy synchronizes with her own. The gateway parts effortlessly, leaving even the usually cocky Maui speechless. This moment reshapes our entire perception of Moana's potential. We've known her as a brave, determined mortal, but this scene hints at something far greater. It suggests that Moana has evolved beyond her previous limitations, tapping into a power that connects her deeply to her ancestors and the ocean itself. Once again, foreshadowing Moana's divine nature. The filmmakers emphasize the significance of this moment through every aspect of the scene. The animation brings the portal to life, while the audio cues and character expressions create a palpable sense of awe. Everything works in harmony to underscore the magical nature of what's unfolding. which makes the last moment of her journey even more powerful. In the first 70 minutes of the movie, Moana transforms from a lost wayfinder into a leader with purpose. Then, in exactly 24 seconds, Disney completely destroys this transformation in the scene you've all been waiting for. So, let's dive into it.
Let's break a curse.
As her journey is coming to an end, Moana faces the terrifying storm god Nalo. The fate of all the ocean peoples hangs in the balance. The scene crackles with tension, both literal and figurative. Nalo emerges as a villain unlike anything we've seen before in Disney animation, a swirling vortex of destruction that feels genuinely threatening. And the crew? They don't seem to be up to the task. They're battling the rogue waves, unable to traverse the powerful typhoons and lightning strikes. They devise a plan. Maui hooks the island to lift it up while the crew distracts Nalo. All Moana has to do is jump in and touch the island.
We can draw the storm, Maui. It's the only way.
The plan is set in motion, but then Maui is struck by lightning. He loses his demigod status, and in one powerful blast, the crew is swept away. When seemingly all hope is lost, the crew looks at Moana, eyes filled with fear. Moana is swept away. But that's when she remembers there is always another way.
There's another way.
Moana's expression shifts from fear to determination. With no other option, Moana jumps into the raging ocean. She swims into the abyss, fighting against the pure rage of a god. Flashes of lightning punctuate the scene, emphasizing the gravity of the situation. Time slows. The music is intensifying. Moonlight cuts through the darkness, revealing the ruins of Motufitu, frozen in time, draped in coral and shadows. Moana's swimming away from a lightning bolt coming for her. She reaches out her hand as far as she can. The music fades out. For one last moment, Moana opens her eyes and looks ahead. Suspense builds up, and she makes contact. At peace, knowing she saved her people, Moana blinks one last time, realizing she did it. She saved her people, but she couldn't save herself. The volume intensifies as the lightning strikes, and for one soul-crushing second, Moana glows white hot, her silhouette frozen in the flash. Then her body goes limp. The music cuts. Nothing, not a single note, just silence. Above sea level, a pulse of golden light erupts, rippling outward. Nalo's curse shatters in an instant. The previously raging ocean, eerily silent. The thundering gray clouds vanished. For the second time in the film, there is no music, no wind, just distinct sounds as Maui jumps into the ocean to reach Moana. The world senses it. The sky shifts. The waves slow. Did the ocean take her? Is she gone? We see her floating, still, serene, unshaken. The battle is won, but Moana isn't moving. The aftermath of the scene is just as powerful as the scene itself. We see Maui's reaction, his face a mask of grief and disbelief. He sings a tearful song to Moana's lifeless body, a moment that showcases the deep bond between these characters and drives home the impact of Moana's choice. As we watch Moana's seemingly lifeless form, we can't help but reflect on her entire journey, from the moment the ocean chose her as a child to her first voyage beyond the reef, to her growth as a leader. It's all led to this moment. Her sacrifice isn't just a plot point, it's the culmination of her entire character arc. Just when we think all hope is lost, Disney pulls off its most audacious twist yet. A soft glow emerges from beneath the waves. At first, just a flicker, then stronger, brighter, pulsing with an energy both ancient and new. And from the depths, they arrive. Moana's ancestors, wayfinders, chiefs, warriors long past, stand upon the ground. At their center, glowing with the warmth of 1,000 fireflies, is Grandma Tala. The ancestors gather, hands extended, chanting in a language older than time itself. Golden light swirls wrapping around Moana's body, her skin glowing, her breath returns, and then her eyes snap open. But Moana isn't just alive, she's changed. She rises, not as the mortal who left Motunui, but as something more. power thrums through her veins. A new tattoo shimmers on her arm, a glowing Wayfinder symbol, woven with waves and stars. She is a demigoddess now. Maui, without his tattoos, stares. Moana stares back at the sight of his clean canvas, but then the ocean returns everything. Maui's hook, his tattoos, and Moana's oar. Now they have everything they need to save Motufitu. Maui uses his hook to pull the island from the seas, whilst Moana uses the powers of her magical oar to create a tunnel of water. And just like that, Motufitu is restored. But there is still one part of the 60 seconds that we haven't talked about yet. We've covered the buildup of the scene and the impact of it on Moana 2. But what does it mean for Moana 3? Moana's transformation into a demigod is a complete rewriting of her destiny, opening up a new world of possibilities for our favorite Wayfinder. This game-changing twist reshapes not just her future, but the entire trajectory of her people's history. Let's explore how Moana's newfound status impacts her role, relationships, and the cultural landscape of Polynesia. The consequences of Moana's transformation extend far beyond Motunui. She now has the power to reconnect the tribes of the ocean, reshaping the entire cultural landscape of Polynesia. Her actions will ripple across countless islands and generations, like a stone cast into the vast Pacific, creating waves that touch distant shores. But let's not forget the personal side of this change. Moana's relationship with her mortal sister has become infinitely more complex. While Moana remains eternally youthful, her sister will continue to age. This bittersweet dynamic adds a poignant depth to Moana's heroic journey. The previous challenge Disney had with her little sister Samia was the 16-year age gap. With the time jump of 3 years from Moana to Moana 2, new films will likely follow this pattern. If Moana 3 jumps 3 years again, Samia would still be too young to go on adventures with Moana. And if Moana kept aging, only by the time she would be 32 would it be acceptable for Samia to join her on adventures. But her newfound demigod status changes this complete dynamic. They can adventure together at some point, having similar ages, strengthening that sister bond. This change made Moana's transformation from mortal to demigod not just a plot twist, it's a masterclass in character development. Her journey embodies the essence of heroism, balancing mortal struggles with divine responsibilities. Like the ocean she navigates, Moana's story flows between human vulnerability and godly power, creating a narrative that's both relatable and awe-inspiring. She's battled the literal forces of nature, faced impossible odds, and crushed doubt beneath her bare feet. And whether or not we get a third film, one thing is clear. Moana isn't just a Wayfinder anymore. She's a legend now. She's a force to be reckoned with, and it's not the first time Disney has done this. Moana's sacrifice ties into Disney's long tradition of heroic moments. Think of Baymax in Big Hero 6, or even all the way back to the Beast's transformation in Beauty and the Beast. But Moana's sacrifice feels different, more weighty. Perhaps it's because we've followed her journey from curious child to responsible leader. Or maybe it's the way her sacrifice embodies the themes of duty and community that have been woven throughout both Moana films. The animation team outdid themselves in creating this sequence. Amy Smead, one of the lead animators, described it as the most complicated they'd ever attempted. "We were creating a whole weather system that acts as a villain," she explained. "It was a huge technical achievement. Every frame is packed with detail, from the way Moana's hair whips in the wind to the intricate patterns within Nalo's swirling form." The audience reactions to this scene have been overwhelming. Social media has been flooded with viewers expressing their emotions, many admitting to shedding tears. It's a testament to the power of this moment and how deeply it resonates with fans who have followed Moana's journey. The combination of stunning visuals, emotional storytelling, and character development that comes together in perfect harmony makes it so perfect. The animators and storytellers have crafted a sequence that not only looks incredible, but also carries immense emotional weight. As we watch Moana make her ultimate sacrifice, we're reminded of why we fell in love with her character in the first place. Her bravery, her sense of duty, and her unwavering love for her people all shine through in this pivotal moment. It's a fitting climax for a character who has grown so much over the course of 2 films. It's kind of like a certain video game bad guy who wasn't so bad after all. I'm talking about Wreck-It Ralph, where Ralph broke free from expectations, proving that heroes come in all forms. Want to find out more? Click here.